Coach, what do you want to try to get done these last couple weeks?
Stay healthy. That's number one. But I think we're kind of figuring out who we are as we've kind of gone through the first 10 practices here, and now we're just working on the actual fundamental part of things. Like guys know what to do scheme-wise, and now it's working on little techniques. And then I think a coach hit on the end of practice here. It's like the football IQ thing. Like what does a certain alignment mean for this and that, and understanding what's coming out of that, and then like we're not just reacting, we're anticipating. And I think the more we become comfortable with that, the more steps we're going to gain as a defense. So I think that's the challenge with these guys, just the football IQ of things, like down and distance and part of the field and situations and everything like that we're going to keep emphasizing.
How tough is it to gauge with the guys that aren't healthy, what your depth is going to look like come fall?
I'm pretty optimistic. Like I feel like our guys are doing a good job, and just when we get those guys back, we're going to be that much better. I think the guys know that are injured. A lot of they're not getting reps, so other guys are getting reps. So therefore, they got to come back and earn their spot. So I think as we continue to recruit, and I told this to the whole defense, nothing's guaranteed right now. Everybody's got to do their job every day, and the next guy, the guy that's been the most dependent, most trustworthy, those are the ones that are going to be the one on the field. So every day is a new challenge to continue to get better and not just plateau. We're going to keep growing.
You just brought it up there, and Coach Walters has talked about it in the past, just a competition aspect in the spring. No one has their spot locked in. How the guys kind of embraced that and responded to that?
Oh, I think it's every day's a challenge. I think guys are appreciating the opportunities to be out there. At the same time, when they're not out there, they probably have an understanding of why they're not out there. So it's like, all right, why am I not out here? How do I got to get this fixed? And the guys are coming up and meeting more with guys. And I think competition brings out the best out of everybody. I think the more, and we're going to continue to bring guys in here. That's just the name of this business. We play our favorites. Our favorites are the ones that are going to help us win. And like everybody now understands what we're doing here and how it's going to be.
At this point, Kevin, you had 8 weeks of weight training. This is week 4 spring football. You feel like you got a pretty good grasp of your roster, your strengths and weaknesses, the personnel?
I think so. I think every day is an evaluation, and you see our offense is doing a great job of testing certain areas of our defense where it's like, okay, is it a scheme issue or is it a personnel issue? And every day you're looking at that and evaluating that and saying, okay, this is what we got to go find and get, or it's like, all right, this is what we need to fix within the scheme. So I think we have a great feel of where we are at with the roster and where we need to build this thing from here. And again, it's bringing in more competition, or if is this guy getting better, or how we're going to coach these guys different to make them better.
Any real concerns?
We got to continue to build depth. That's a big concern up front on the back end. We have guys that have played a lot of football, but at the same time, there's a lot of guys behind them that haven't played a lot of football. So it's you're the next man in mentality. You're one play away from being ready, and we got to make sure those guys are ready and just continue to build that depth in those areas.
How about pleasant surprises?
Man, I think I talked about him earlier in the spring. Was Tony Stevens. I'm really happy with where he's at on the back end. He's seeing him from the bowl prep to winter conditioning to now. It's like I feel really good about him. Up front, Big Mo has proven to be a high motor, great effort guy. I really like where he's at. In the linebacker world, I think O.C. Brothers has really kind of stepped up from where he was and continue to grow. Yanni Karlaftis has done it. There's a lot of guys. I can go on and on with surprises, but as I sit there and think of, we're going to have a good team, and for me to spout out 1,000 names would be great, but it's like I think we're going to be pretty solid.
How much of this spring is learning for you and this staff, because this is all new for all of you still?
Yeah, that's part of it. You got, the one great thing that Coach Walters has done is he's built a staff of people that he's known and trusted, right? So like, while I've never worked with Brick Haley before, we've known each other, and Coach Walters has worked with him before, so we know personalities are going to be somewhat similar, And so as a staff, I feel like we've been able to really bond and kind of connect, And so that being said, like translate that into teaching a new scheme and system to all these new guys and getting to know their personalities and it hasn't been easy for these players, man. They've had different coaches a lot, man. To bring in a new coach and trying to gain their trust. Every day we're building or losing trust with these guys, and we got to continue to build every day. Because they've got a lot of systems and a lot of techniques in their minds, and it's like, no, this is how we want to do it here and now. And so we're always building that. it's going to be an ongoing process until game day.
How important is stability? Where, like you said, they've had a lot of DCs. You know, the seniors have had 4. So
Absolutely. No, it's huge. You know, I look back at the successful programs I've been a part of. It's guys that have been around. It's not a new coach every year. It's the guys that have been part of the program. And I had the same coach for 4 years all through college. You know, and we had a successful defense. You know, and I think continuity is great just because the players can have an understanding of this guy can be there. And I think for us here at Purdue right now, that's what we want. We want stability. We want guys to be here and coaches as well. So.
I know you're not going to have the splits right now, but just how many guys do you see kind of fitting in the rotation all across the defensive line?
Oh man, Coach Briggs, he likes to keep those guys fresh, so they're going to be a heavy rotation. You know, obviously you got to play the hot hand in certain situations, but you know, I think in the fourth quarter you want those big guys to be ready to roll. So I think early in the game you'll see some guys rotating in there, and especially the type of guys that we want to bring in here, the big dudes. You know, we got to have those guys, but at the same time, the back end, the front, and the linebackers, shoot, you guys got to play ball. You know, those are the players you got to be. But we want to be able to say, all right, when the next guy's in, you can fully trust that, and that's where you're not necessarily coaching the ones all the time. You're coaching the 2s and 3s because those are the guys that when they get in, they got to shine. You know, and you're always recruiting the team. You know, so doing that way too.